my amazing art friends. Last time we started our paper weaving project and we talked about the 3 parts of a weaving. The loom, which holds it all together, the warp strands, which are the vertical strands that you weave over and under, and the weft, which is what you use to weave. And so we have a saying, we say we weave the weft over and under the warp on the loom. That way we can remember all those different vocabulary words. There's a lot. So last time we made our loom and our warp strands, and today we're going to be using the weft to weave. So you will need to cut a couple of strips of paper before we start today. You can use construction paper, any paper that you want. It could have patterns on it, paintings on it, whatever you want. But you'll need to cut some vertical strips and make sure that they are the length or longer of your loom. So let's get weaving. Okay, friends, so we have our loom and warp from last time. And so before you start your project today, you're gonna need to go ahead and cut some strips of paper. They can be the same size of your paper or longer, but we need to make sure that they're not shorter than your paper. If they're shorter than your paper, it won't work. So I went ahead and cut some strips of paper, different colors, and so we are going to weave them today. And so the strips of paper are what we're gonna be weaving with, and so they are called the weft. The weft is what you use to weave. And so remember, when we weave in a pattern of over, under, over, under, over, under. So I'm gonna start with my first warp strand, and I'm gonna weave my weft over, then under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and then wiggle it all the way up to the top. Then I can get my next one, but we have to do the opposite to create our pattern. So the last time we went over, under, now I'll need to go under, over. So I have to make sure this is my first warp strand all the way on the edge. Last time I went over, so now I'm gonna go under it, then over, under, come back, over, under, over, under, over, over, yeah, there we go. And then wiggle it all the way up to the top as well. You can create a pattern with we already are creating a pattern, but you can create a pattern with colors or anything you want with your weft strands. And so I'm gonna show you what it looks like when we don't do it opposite, which is incorrect. So if I do it the same way, if I do under, over again, like I just did, it looks like it would be right, but when I push it up, unfortunately, it doesn't create the pattern, and I can even push it all the way underneath. And so we need to make sure that we do the opposite. So last time I went under first, so now I'll need to go over first. And you're gonna repeat this step all the way until you fill up your whole weaving. And make sure that you go over and under each warp strand. I can't go over, and then under, because it messes up my pattern. So I can just pull it back and fix my mistake. So you're gonna weave the whole thing. Make sure that you push each weft paper all the way up as much as you can until you fill up the entire paper, okay? Once you fill up the entire paper, you can put a dot of glue underneath the end of your weft strand, so like right here, and here, and then do it all the way on your whole paper and also on the back. That way none of your pieces fall out, okay? So when you're all done, it should look something like this. So there's no spaces in between. I weaved all the way down, and I put a dot of glue underneath the edge pieces so that I can't pull them out anymore. So it's all nice and stuck. And so we've finished our paper weaving, but save it in a safe place because we're gonna add something extra special to it next class. I hope you guys have so much fun weaving. Happy creating.